One night you realize something is wrong. Not because you're crying, because you're not. Someone you once loved could walk out of your life, and you would probably just say, okay, your favorite song comes on. You don't skip it. You don't enjoy it either. You just let it play. Your phone lights up. Someone you used to wait hours for has finally texted you. You look at the message, read it, put your phone down, and nothing happens inside you. Not excitement, no anxiety, no butterflies, just silence. And maybe that's what scares you, because you remember when everything used to mean something. So you start wondering, did I finally become stronger? Or did something inside me shut down? The strange thing about emotional numbness is that it doesn't always look like suffering. Sometimes it looks like functioning perfectly. You wake up, go to work, answer messages, eat, watch something, go to sleep, repeat. People see you and think, he's doing fine, but they don't know that you're going through your days like you're checking boxes. You don't look forward to Friday anymore. You don't get genuinely excited when something good happens. You don't get properly angry when someone treats you badly. And when someone asks, what's wrong? You honestly don't know what to say, because nothing is exactly wrong. You're just not really there. And here's where it gets interesting. A lot of people think this means they've stopped caring. But sometimes the opposite is true. You cared so much that your mind eventually learned to care less. Think about what happens when you touch something hot. The first time you react immediately. You pull your hand away, but imagine being exposed to stress again and again. Eventually your system starts changing how it responds. Your emotional system can work in a similar way, not because your brain is broken, because it's trying to protect you. Psychologists use terms like emotional numbing and emotional avoidance to describe experiences where a person becomes less emotionally responsive or distances themselves from difficult feelings. Maybe you were disappointed too many times. Maybe you spent years pretending everything was fine. Maybe you kept swallowing anger because there was never a good time to express it. Maybe you became the person who always said, it's fine, even when it wasn't. And every time you pushed a feeling down, you got a little better at not feeling it. Until one day, you realize you've become incredibly good at being unaffected. Your brain doesn't always know how to numb only the painful emotions. It can turn the volume down on everything. Pain, excitement, love, joy, connection, all of it. Usually there's a moment when the numbness becomes impossible to ignore. Maybe someone you love hugs you, and you don't feel much. Maybe something you worked for finally happens, and instead of celebrating, you think, that's it. Maybe you're sitting alone at night, scrolling through your phone, watching other people laugh, travel, fall in love, and you aren't jealous. You're not even sad, you're just watching. That's when you realize, I don't want more things. I want to feel something about the things I already have. And that's an important distinction, because the answer isn't necessarily to chase bigger experiences, more money, more relationships, more entertainment, more stimulation. You can surround yourself with noise and still feel completely empty. The real question is quieter. What have you been protecting yourself from feeling? And please don't turn numbness into some kind of personality trait. I'm just cold now. I don't care about anyone. Nothing affects me. That isn't necessarily a strength. Sometimes it's exhaustion wearing a confident mask. And sometimes emotional numbness can be associated with depression, trauma, chronic stress, anxiety, burnout, or other mental health difficulties. So, if this has lasted for a long time or is seriously affecting your life, don't treat it like a character flaw. It deserves attention, not shame. Maybe you don't need to become the old version of yourself again. Maybe you don't need to suddenly feel everything. Start smaller. Notice the song you almost skipped, the person you still think about, the anger you keep calling nothing, the moment you laughed before remembering you weren't supposed to be happy. Those tiny reactions matter because they prove something. You're not empty. You may just be disconnected from parts of yourself that you've spent a long time trying not to feel. And maybe that's why your emotions went silent. Not because they disappeared, but because somewhere along the way, silence started feeling safer than being hurt.